Two, one, go ahead.
It's not Friday. This is not best friends of football. But pretty darn good Tuesday night. Irving just spoke. The Games for Quarterback Club, Brandon Spike. Terrific conversation. You come back here often, don't you?
I do. I won't miss this one. This is the group that when I was coaching, they told me how special this group of people was. And now that I'm not coaching, I've been invited back and I love it. I won't miss it. I get asked to do a lot of stuff. I won't miss this one because they've been so good to us over the years.
There's a good vibe about it right now, isn't there?
Yeah, there's good vibe you bring. I think we made this meeting, I think it almost should be mandatory. Brandon Spikes, having a coach get up there and babble for 30 minutes. And that's why I told him I don't want to do that. Let's do a Q&A and let's do and then if Spikes or someone, I think every year I'm going to bring someone.
We'll get some questions in just a minute I wanted to ask, and I'm going to only refer to you as Herbs because that's what Josh Portis always called you. Herbs. Josh Portis. There's a name from your past right there you probably hadn't thought about in a long time. But he was a young quarterback who came here with a lot of hype. He used to call him Herbs. Yeah, Herbs. But I mean, I do want to talk to both of you a little bit about Swamp Kings, and I know it was Gator fans loved it because they really made you guys how good you were. They showed how good you were. And the work level. Was there ever a point, Herbs, when you were watching those mat drills on the Netflix special and went, oh man, there's some things I hope they don't show.
I think, real quick, I want to introduce Buddy, Martin, Brendan. They're two great friends. I know Buddy's a legend rider. And then Dr. Pete, the legendary orthopedic team doc that we had. Carter Scott and Ethan, his son, there are two Gators sitting on their car. And of course, Shelly, of 34 years, right there, my wife. I like to introduce those guys because they're Scott, you're a dear friend as well. And there's so many friends, but it's fun. Like Doc, as you get a little older, and you that friendship wasn't based on a win or a loss. That's what's so cool about it. And after all these years, not one time, how many times have I ever talked about it? Other than, man, that was great. So I really, really appreciate it. Once again, 60 years old, you look back, and who was I talking to? I think it might have been Doc. When I was at Bowling Green, we lost one time to Western Michigan. I was not sure that sun was going to come up the next day. That's how nuts I was. And you look back right now, it really wasn't that important. And that's where, I guess, where you get the reflective part of your life, and I am there. And I'm like looking back and saying, was I really that nuts, Brandon?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. And the Swamp Kings.
Was I really recruiting in church?
Yeah. But I'm very appreciative. And you brought up something. The SWAT teams first came to us, a handful of players, Tim, myself, and some other guys. And my first reaction was, I'm not doing that. It's some, I've read enough nonsense, untruths, crap about these guys and myself. I'm like, why would I do that garbage? And then I realized, wait a minute, I'm not coaching anymore. And I'm going to hold everyone accountable that if I hear that nonsense bullshit, I want to get it right. And you start calling people thugs, or you start saying you covered up drug tests, you start stuff on them. I go, where did they get that crap? And so I said, now just be prepared. If I hear something, I'm going to blast you guys now, and I'm going to come out in the media, and I'm going to get this right, because I've reached the point of my life, I've had it. When you start saying Brandon James is a bad guy because he bought $18 worth of marijuana, I'll fight you for that. He's not a bad guy. He's actually a great guy, and he's the best punt return this place has ever seen. So I'm at that point. So hold on to your hat when some narrative nonsense, excuse my language, I see ladies out there, I'm sorry, but I do rattle it up. You talk about my dudes. That there will be corrections made from this point forward. When idiots in Orlando or other places have comments, they'll be corrected. Because I'm going to fight for these guys that are arguably the greatest era of college football in the country at that time. And it's certainly not take away from Steve, my good friend Coach Spurrier, because that era is unbelievable. But you watch closely. That 4-part documentary And if you don't walk away, now I know certain people that don't think right walk by and go, what about Aaron Hernandez? What about this? Aaron Hernandez was fine here. There's some narrative nonsense out there, but that was 4 or 5 years after he left. So why would we cover that in there? It's been covered over and over and over again. What about this, or what about this? It was a celebration of a bunch of great players playing great football. And when I saw the interview list, I saw Brandon Saddle. How about that grown man? You know, I know there's a bunch of statues here already, but I put one up for that guy.
The whole entire offseason, all I saw was no shunning, 188 rushing yards. I'll never forget, that's the most rushing yards any running back has had against, me while I was on the field. So I made it my business. I didn't care if we lost every game that year. I don't know, coach knew that, but I wanted to play against Georgia. It didn't really matter what our record was. I wanted to show that guy like I've never been, disrespected. It wasn't even just about me. The whole entire nation, even coach, I seen how he responded when they ran on the field. I really didn't know what was going on. I was on the bottom of the pile after they just ran through our face, and I never felt so low ever. So that entire year, for 365 days, I dreamed about No Shine, and the first play, I let him know. And I'm not gonna, say exactly what I said to him. Let's just say I called him everything in the book. I'll still be on top of him. They had to move me on.
It's really special, especially to bring a former player. You talked a lot about tonight about the old days, the TV show series, which is so good. It seems like the response to that has been even above what we expected.
Yeah, I've heard from what it did. It reignited that era, and I've heard from so many former players. And group texts are starting to surface, and it's hard to believe it's been 15 years or something like that. So it's great. I thought they did a really good job. I thought our players were spectacular, and I thought the behind the scene footage, most of that I've never even seen. First time I saw it was when I saw the show.
And the Metros were to behold, for sure. Couple more for that you let's talk about Billy Napier. You saw some things that you liked, despite the fact they had some mistakes, had problems in the red zone, obviously.
See you later. How are you?
Tell me, I don't want to put words in your mouth. Tell me where this program's going right now. What you expect?
Yeah, I don't really look at the red zone, and that's his business. And I guess if I was covering them, I would. But I look at him because I'm a coach's coach. I've lived in this city when you don't win, and that Utah game was tough. And I think he had that Florida State moment like we did in 05. That was a program win. He had to win that game to keep his recruits, to keep to just survive in this town. This is a tough place, man. You've seen me when I went through it. We won a lot. And so and it's not just Gainesville. Towns like this, like Tuscaloosa, Columbus, Ohio. When you lose a game, I always think, I'll be honest with you, I don't really care about the red zone and all that. I care about that guy and his family because I know what happens.
Big statement tonight. You just don't understand how a coach's life changes after a loss.
But that far. And we witnessed it. Ohio State's Notre Dame, right? These life's different. If he gets tackled, that's short. And same with the coach. Billy Napier's life is a lot different right now than it beat Tennessee.
All right, last thing, I want you to do a promo for the best Fridays in football. All right, coming up this week. Here we go.
All right, best Fridays in football is the best. Was it podcast? It's if you want football, it's the best YouTube show out there. It's not nonsense. It's real football talk by two guys that care about each other.
That's fine.
I appreciate it.
All right, little video selfie.
Here we go.
There, everyone just get in there. That's it. And I'll pull the frame grab it. We're done. All right. Thanks, guys.
How are you?